Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to sunny Toronto. And it's not even morning for you, is it? It is actually probably the evening for you. Have a look outside of this window. It's a very nice view from here. You can see all of the nice, cool buildings here in Toronto. But we've got important stuff to discuss today, such as the price of Bitcoin, which is appearing to be starting on an ascent, having bounced up very significantly earlier in the day. It's interesting, is this? This is mid-range chop. This isn't direction. This is you get liquidated, and then you get liquidated, and then you get liquidated, and then we're waiting for a breakout of the range, to be honest, and this is just chopping out the over-leveraged traders. Now, I currently am in some trades, and we're not making any money. You can see I'm losing about $16,000 on my Solana short position right now. I do also have a small short position on Ethereum and a small short position on Bitcoin, and I'm going to explain the reason for that in today's video. So if you don't mind, drop a like on it and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because this is TMG Trades and these videos cost a lot of money because I have to fly to a different country to make them. So definitely not just like on holiday. Anyway, drop a like, subscribe, and let's crack on. Now, Bitcoin, Ethereum, both of them having a bit of a move to the upside earlier today, which is interesting. But the question is it going to be sustained? We got a significant spike up the other day. We have since come down in price. We are now coming back to where you would expect the level of resistance to be, somewhere around here. I mean, technically, you've broken through the first one, you've run upwards, you've come back down, you've retested, you've run upwards again. I still think of a retest somewhere around 2,400 as we kind of make our way back down again. Seems likely, which is why I'm in these short positions, but they are only short term and they may not pay off. It is currently me just trading the range, because currently, if we look at the overall range that we're in, the range is pretty obvious, it's pretty clear. You got your first range down there. We have broken to the upside of that range. However, we sit in a larger range here, and this larger range that we're currently sitting in goes something like this. So for me, a break of the level on Ethereum of 2,522, I don't want to be shorting that, because ultimately the chances of us making it up to 2,700 are a lot higher. When it comes to Bitcoin, again, the same range game is what we're playing. So if we're looking at Bitcoin on the hourly and we zoom out a little bit, you'll see that Bitcoin has very clear and established ranges. This is a level of resistance up here, and then we've also got previous levels of support that go back down to there, which is why we start bouncing at that stage. But this is the 1 hour range on the chart, and it ends up here at 112,000 and it starts down here around 99,000. You've got like a $12,000 range, and ultimately we break this green line here, we kind of crack the top, the overall top of this range. We want to be cracking the top. Now, I think we're going to come up and test this again, which is why I'm a bit hesitant about my short positions, and if I've timed it correctly here, or if I'm better off just waiting for that inevitable hit to happen and then go short from there. I'll make my mind up on that in a minute. You can't see it but I'm sure you can hear it. There's a cop car or ambulance, probably an ambulance outside. It's always tends to be an ambulance. Anyway, I sound like I'm rambling like BitBoy, don't I? Stumbling over my words like I've got meth in my system or something, but I don't. I'm honest. Honest. No, it's not. I'm not about that life. Anyway, yeah. Bitcoin, the range, very clear, break of this level. If you're patient, you'll make money in this market. If you're impatient like me, you could make more money or you could risk losing money. For me, a break of this level here, 108,666, that's a break of the range. You want to be longing that because the odds are going up to 112 are very, very likely at that point in time. So Ethereum Bitcoin analysis, very, very similar. I look at stuff like this right now and I go, do I even bother trading the market? Do I bother? Or do I just lump it all into like something like Aptos or Arda or Aero or Lumia or like any of the, not XRP, not because I don't like XRP, just because like the price isn't down as much. Wormhole, Say, all these coins are just down bad. Polkadot down at $3.42. I just look at it and I go, do I bother trading it, or do I lump 300k into one of these coins and pray? And I don't like the fundamentals of lumping 300k into one of these coins and praying. I could lump 100k into 3 different coins and pray. But ultimately, it's all about lumping and praying. And I just don't get it at this point in the market. And the reason for that would be if you look at the overall trend. Now, for the overall trend, this blue line here, this is Bitcoin interest over time. We can see that interest in Bitcoin is dropping at the moment, which again would suggest a tail off is inevitable. Because generally, when you get these tails off in interest, you have a sudden spike in interest, and that is generally caused by something happening. Now, what is that thing that's going to happen? On these spikes aren't necessarily something good that's happening, such as here is something good that's happening, but then here is something bad that's happening. This is 2022. This is bear market. This is when things are really kicking off. Just give me a second, turn this Bluetooth off, and then bosh. Stop trying to connect to those AirPods. Now, if we go over to altcoins here, altcoins you'll see on the chart is, again, not a lot of interest. So do you lump into altcoin? I know that they're low. I look at them all right now, and even SUI down at 282. It was up at 5. You could lump 300k into that, double up on, get 600k and be away. But that's only if it works out. And you are very much preying on the upside. And I don't like to find myself in a scenario where I'm preying on other people to do something. The other thing would be if we look at Solana interest as a search term. Solana interest, it's been dropping recently significantly, reached a high when Trump launches his meme coin earlier in the year. And since then, it's dropped off massively. And again, when you have these spikes upwards, this is spikes driven by price action positive. These spikes here are driven by price action negative. It's a difficult one. If I was to lump into anything right now, it wouldn't be Solana. It's got to be one of the smaller ones. It's got to be, say, maybe Optimism. It's like, look at this chart here. This is just, imagine being the guy that paid $5 for Optimism back in March 2024, thinking that you were going to make 10x your money. And right now, you're down 90% because it's down at 57 cents. Like, that sucks to be that guy. Is it a good time to... I'm sure it probably is. If you've got the balls to stomach 3 or 6 months of nothing and then make the money. If you can make money before then you probably should do, and that's why I edge towards trading. And of course, if you're interested in trading, check out a link to BYBIT and check out a link to Bluffin in today's video description. The link for BYBIT, if you're outside of the UK, Europe, or US, then you can use BYBIT. If you're inside one of those countries, then you can use Bluffin. So check that out. You'll find a link for it in today's video description. Now, you also get some nice bonuses and stuff like that. It says it on the link, but like Bluffin gives you a fee discount as well. Anyway, SPX, this is the stock market, which again, consistently rallying recently after Trump got inaugurated and we had that massive drop-off, but starting to show some shaky signs. This was when the war was kicking off the other day. Since then, it has recovered quite significantly. However, Middle East, can you really trust it to stay stable? This is why I edge towards short positions. Even looking at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map right now, it's up here, 109k, a lot of liquidations. Down here, 106, down to 104, so many liquidations. These ranges have built up massively, and when it starts moving out of one of these directions, it will keep going. So if it moves upwards and it goes to 109, it'll run up all the way to maybe 120, 130k. If it goes down to below 100, then we're going to 80k. That's inevitable. Fire in as big short positions as you can afford and cross your fingers, because it could be a very profitable one. And that's the important thing to point out about this market. There is good money to be made in downside. Everyone is always looking to upside, going, oh, TMG, you're all negative. No. I have a plan. I want to buy a boat this summer. Maybe not this winter, to be fair. I want to buy a boat this winter because of Thailand. I want to buy a boat in Thailand. So I'm trying to trade here, this account that I'm running, and I've run basically $3,000 into what, 390k at the moment, something like that. I was up at 470. I've run it down since because this past week shorting was a bit not great. But I'd like to get that to 1 million so I can buy a boat this winter for 200k and it doesn't cost me anything. So we'll see. It's all a bit of a challenge for me at the end of the day, and it's all fun to keep up with it, but can I achieve it? Maybe, maybe not. Now, when we look at the stock market and the news and everything like that, the S&P 500 rises to another record wrap-up second quarter comeback because the S&P 500 is up. Nike is saying that tariffs will cost it $1 billion before the price increases. Basically, Nike complaining about tariffs because it will affect them because they can't make clothes in China. The amount of money in circulation has aggressively continued to rise so far this year. So they are printing money, but the thing is, this trickle-down economic effect is not resulting in that money ending up in the hands of the people. Instead, it's just going to more rich people. So it's not having a huge economic impact like you would hope. And then earlier today, they did a poll of the chairs on the Fed, and 2 of the chairs on the Fed were in favor of cutting rates. However, the majority is not in favor of cutting rates, and there will be no rate cut at the next meeting. That was confirmed today. Don't fully know why markets are up. Now, if we also look at Tether, Money supply in crypto continues to increase. And this is why I look at like the altcoin stuff. Money supply in crypto is consistently increasing. M2 is consistently increasing. Surely that means that we're heading to a bull market, or maybe they're just printing loads of money to then go short and then dump all the Bitcoin that they bought. That's a gigabrain play. And ultimately, they don't build these lovely glass towers out here by making decisions that benefit the people. Player versus player, remember that. So, yeah. This is another thing that's been kicking off as well with MicroStrategy's 10% preferred stock as a Bitcoin-backed yield play. People are moving towards getting their 10% interest per year off of MicroStrategy by lending MicroStrategy their money. This will go pop at some stage. I've read through this whole article here, and basically they say, well, there's no custody risks, there's a fixed income floor, and there's perpetual structure. This is all while relying on Bitcoin's price maintaining above $70,000. It's actually a really interesting article, and I'd recommend you check it out. But basically, it's a risk. People think that giving Michael Saylor money is not a risk. It is a risk because it might not go as well as what people hope. Now, the other thing to point out about the market right now, again, would be the long sentiment. 59% of traders on Hyperliquid are currently long versus 41% are short. And this is based off the top traders' total market position. You can see that this guy here has got a $75 million long position. He's in a tiny loss on it, but his weekly all-time P&L is $45 million. Maybe we want to listen to what he has to say. But there are some big traders out here, and although when I look through here, I see quite a lot of short positions, you see the big ones are all longs, like a $20 million hype long. That guy's made 6.44 million. You can kind of validate someone's like legitimacy by looking at their overall P&L here. But it's interesting to see most people being long right now, most rich traders being long. Kind of suggesting that we will come up and bump this level here, so which then gives me an awkward position of, do I exit this? I need to give that some thought. I'll let you know in the Telegram group that I'm going to link into today's video description. Join the Telegram group. We have a great Telegram community that's growing, it's buzzing, and it's completely free to join. Join the Telegram community and check out the link for BYBIT in today's video description. Have a great day, everybody, and see you in a bit. Hopefully the market does good things for me, which means it goes down. This is